Hi, good morning. It might be a little surprising to you that I'm making my own video this morning, but I do want to talk to you today to encourage you that I do this in the morning for myself. I get up early to spend some time for myself as well as doing my spiritual walk with God. Today, we will talk about self-care and we'll title this video Grooming Spiritual Self. So I know most of us are probably wondering, why am I doing this video? I've been encouraged by a lot of people to share my thoughts and to share some views of my own in this chaotic world we already live in. So, one of the ways that I believe that I started finding some ground to the meaning of my own life was I had to find myself. So I wanted to start this video by encouraging those who need to find who they are. So my concept starts with when we feel a void, we want to look for the external things that can eliminate the void that we feel each and every day by looking to others to fill that void for us. And so today I want to just take a step back before doing that and really finding out what it means to have a companion, to, or it could be family members, it could be friends, whatever's filling your void, to really analyze why some of us may expect others to do that for us. And so what I found out through my own journey is that I never really got to know who I am. And I always felt this way, where if you're looking for company out there that wants to be with you, that person has to value your presence. The person has to value who you are. But if we don't value who we are and we don't even like our own company, how can the other person benefit also from your own spiritual gifts? The only way to realize what we stand for ourselves is to actually start getting to know who we are and the likes and dislikes of our own world. If you are constantly looking for something convenient to fill that void, whether it be a person, it could be drugs, it could be alcohol, or whatever outlet that fills that void, is obviously instant gratification. And so usually when there's instant gratification, the things that we work hard and long for are usually the most satisfying. Instant gratification, it actually points you to a more dangerous way of living, where you have less time to think and you're just enjoying the fruits of stuff that you're not even understanding where your produce comes from. I believe can be very critical in your future. So when we do this, we're telling the world that we don't trust the world. We end up in situations where others may view this as a weakness, and our insecurities exude without even us trying due to our own fears. And we are at the mercy of others' approval. Seeking for approval for all your moves, for every decision, and your own passion is set aside just to please someone so that you can get a quick gratification, can put you at the end of your journey where you're blown to different places and directions you don't want to be at the end of your journey. So I believe it's very important to know and have some control of your destiny. And by doing that, you have to know your likes and dislikes. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, the first thing is going back to what I just said. It's not trusting the world. And you don't have to trust the world. It's just trusting that you can exceed your boundaries or limitations of who you are. And what do I mean by that? Well, trying to, I'll give you an example. For instance, if you're going on a date, you expect the other person to suffice any courting that they would, try to, impress you the best way they can. Well, I think for me, it had to get down to knowing myself by impressing my own self. And so knowing your own self would mean I would have to know what pleases me and makes me happy and makes me feel alive. So I'll give you an example. One day, instead of trying to go to different places to get happiness, I just started trying to kill all the noise and just let it die down, the external factors that would potentially make me happy. And I started asking myself, well, Jeanette, what things make you happy? And what things do make me happy is something that was a real task for me. And it was very hard because I was so used to going for external factors to make me happy. So what did I do? I started to date myself, and I took the time to get to know myself just like a person would do in order to get to know you. I feel like the best way to do that is to think of that concept constantly about dating yourself. And when we date, we do try to be very careful, not to be abrupt, to be kind, to be all the good things that the other person want to see in us, or vice versa. And when you're dating someone, you want to kind of get to know them first. And so it's a baby step process. And we have to be a lot forgiving because, again, we don't know a lot about ourselves. So in this way, you try to cultivate something and nurture something in small baby steps by even, for example, buying yourself flowers in the morning, or taking a walk out on a stroll by yourself and noticing the things around you and what pleases you. Do I like yellow flowers? Do I like red flowers? These are little things that we pass by daily that we don't even observe, most of us. And I started doing that. And at that moment, I would also try to go to dinners by myself and really challenge the unknown. And why is it so hard for myself to be in places by myself? And the pure answer is I didn't know who I was to begin with. I've always depended on someone to define that for me. So taking that moment out and finding out what your likes and dislikes are, quieting the room leaves room for you to talk inside your mind and find out the true jewels of your hearts. And every time you do find something that pleases you, that makes you happy, you take a mental note of those. And if it's a routine, say for instance, if you're going out for a walk and you absolutely love yesterday's walk, you go for another brisk walk somewhere, wherever that was, or you start building on top of that. And as you notice, when you start doing things like this for yourself, you start building self-confidence, and you get stronger by each walk. And I also do this in sad moments of my life. I do this and I hone in into something like this. The more my day gets very challenging, the more I question myself. Jeanette, date yourself, date yourself. I always do that, and it's a routine of mine that I do, and it keeps me happy. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps me feeling great about myself. So for myself, I try to do my self-care way early in the morning, and this provides me the mental strategy to combat my day. And if I finally know what I like and dislike, and it's easier for me to maneuver through my day and making the best choices for my life. And so what I also do is, so when I have this feeling of being able to better control my day, I have a better grip on my helm to steer my boat in the direction where I want my destiny to be. I feel more fulfilled. I feel happy. And then you will learn how to do habits and make habits for yourself that will cultivate a more wholesome person. Like in the morning, I meditate. And meditation for me doesn't mean that you sit there and you do any like hymns or anything like that for myself. But meditation for me is what I like. And whatever that looks like for you, I would try to go in that direction if that's what makes you feel great. So meditation for me is lighting up an incense, putting on some nature sounds. That for me is meditation. And I don't do it for that long. I probably do it only for like 15 minutes. But or when I feel the need that I need to calm my day, I will do that. And also I used to take myself out, say for dinner by myself, and that through those times I actually learned what I don't like to eat or what I do like to eat. So I start to build these routines and daily preferences, and it makes me feel more confident to face the world, not feeling insecure about the world. And that's what this lack that we feel is, not being bold enough to face the world because we're not equipped with what we are afraid of what we can't handle. So when we have those feelings again, you know, you're more prone to others that could take advantage of you, knowing that they feel that you might be coming from a needy place, where in fact that the whole answer to this is not knowing who you are. So this part of your self-care is, it does take a while to get to know yourself better. It's very critical that you take baby steps. And this is part of self-respect. So once you know your likes and dislikes, you feel a feeling of self-respect. It's not really something that you say to yourself, I respect myself, but you get that feeling for yourself and it makes you feel happy. Because if you know what your dislikes and likes are, you would know your boundaries and what sets you apart from the world and what sets you apart in your, to be comfortable in your own world. So I hope this video, my first video in making something like this, helped you. And I hope and pray that you have a blessed day. And I do this every day for my own self-help. It's not just for the listeners, but it also helps me to walk through life with other people. And it generates my faith and my positive outlook in life daily. And again, I pray and wish you all a wonderful day and a blessed day. God bless.